Hello students, this is Dr. M. Bhushanam, Assistant Professor in Maharani Science College for Women, Bengaluru. In today's session, we shall understand another topic related to your syllabus, that is Non-CHORDATA 2, Unit 3 and 3.2 subdivision is the type study of C star or Asterias. In this particular type study animal, we are going to understand the water vascular system or ambulacral system that helps the animal in the process of locomotion predominantly. The objective of this study and the session is to understand the water vascular system and the ambulacral system of Asterias or C star. The content includes the water vascular system of Asterias or C star. This is a very important concept, a very characteristic feature related to the Asterias organisms and overall under echinoderms. We know that Asterias or C star has a body which is pentamerous, flat almost, lives in the benthic zone, that is the deeper sea, where the light availability is very less for the animal. But it's a very active animal. It preys upon the clamps by ingesting the prey into its body, which we have learned in detail in the process of digestive system of the C star. It's a very active moving organism. So, for the locomotion to exhibit, the animal needs a particular system called water vascular system or ambulacral system. So, what is water vascular system? When we look at, it's a system that helps the organism for the process of locomotion. When we look at the larval stage of the Asterias, in its bipinnarial larva, we find a part called hydrocele. That hydrocele of the bipinnarial larva develops the part of water vascular system in the adults. So, hydrocele is nothing but a part of the coelom. When hydrocele forms the water vascular system, we can say it is a modified part of the coelom, it remains otherwise. So, what is water vascular system? It is a modified part of the coelom in the organism. So, what does it consist of? It consists of just the canals, the tubes filled with the water of the sea, and it may sometimes have the presence of amoeboid cells or amoeboid corpuscles. It's a network of the tubes or canals filled with the seawater along with the amoeboid cells in it. So, what's the characteristic feature of this particular system? It is helpful in the process of locomotion of the animal. If you keenly observe the picture down towards the right side, you find the canal system that shows the all the parts related to the water vascular system. So we shall understand each of it one by one. The water vascular system consists of the parts like Madreporite, stone canal, ring canal, radial canal, lateral canals and tube fit. Almost of 6 different parts the system of ambulacrum lateral system includes, in association with a special structure referred as the Tiedeman bodies. So when you look at the diagram, the first part is the Madreporite, which is something subcircular plate seen towards the arboreal surface, and that is present between 2 arms. So each of that yellow line here, which is vertical and horizontally represented, refers to the radial canals which enters into the arm. So it is a position of arm, let us consider here. So between 2 arm portion at inter-radius location is the presence of the Madreporite. So we call those 2 arms as bivium and rest 3 arms as trivium. So position in between 2 arms where Madreporite is present is called bivium. We have learned this in the while we learning the morphology of Asterias. So Madreporite is at arboreal surface between 2 arms at inter-radial position or in between 2 arms. So those 2 arms are called bivium, rest 3 where Madreporite position is absent are called trivium. Madreporite plate will continue down with a S-shaped canal, a tube which we call it as a stone canal, okay, or a ring canal, stone canal here. So this stone canal will join with a pentagonal canal system. We call it as a ring canal. It is of ring shaped. So we have Madreporite. Madreporite is a plate with number of pores in it. It continues down with a tube which is S-shaped called stone canal. The other end of this S-shaped canal, stone canal, will join with one side at inter-radius position of this ring canal, which is pentagonal in shape. Now, this pentagonal shaped ring canal will continue at its angular region another canal which we call it as radial canal. Here it is shown as yellow canals. So at every angle of the pentagonal ring canal there arises a radial canal which runs into each of the arm till the tip portion. And this radial canal on either lateral side shows the bifurcations or extensions which we call it as lateral canals or podial canals. So these canals of lateral side will end up with tubular structures attached, referred as the tube fit. So we have Madreporite, the first part. Second part is the stone canal. The third part is the ring canal. The fourth part is the radial canal. The fifth part is the lateral canals. And the sixth part is the tube fit. So these 6 structures together corresponds to the actual water vascular system of the organism of Asterias. Students, this diagram is what you are supposed to practice for your main exam to write. So it's a very important concept, most repeated concept for the examination. So keenly try to understand the concept, listen to the class and make points out of it. Let's now understand each of the part, its structure and function one by one related to water vascular system. The first part is Madreporite. As we have understood, while we understand dealing with the concept of morphology or externals of Asterias, the starfish consists of two surfaces. The surface where the mouth is present in the central disc area, we call it as oral surface, that faces towards the bottom of the sea. The upper surface that faces the sky, we call it as aboral surface. Remember, this aboral surface in the central disc area, between two arms, you find the structure referred as Madreporite. So what is the shape of the Madreporite? It is almost subcircular or round shaped plate, which is very hard, referred as calcareous plate. So we have a round or subcircular calcareous plate seen on the aboral surface on the central disc at inter-radial position in between two arms of bivium. The rest three arms are referred as trivium. Now, this calcareous plate is marked in the middle picture and it is enlarged in the last picture, which is highly flat with number of grooves in it. Students, when you look at this particular structure of Madreporite, it's very thicker part, a harder part of the plate with many number of radiating grooves which are narrow and straight or sometimes even wavy and shows number of furrows in it. So to imagine the concept, we can think of a plate. The plate has got number of lines or grooves on it. So these lines will have an infolds within. We call it as furrows. And these furrows will carry the minute openings called the pores. So this plate is responsible for intake of the water, especially the sea water, into the water canal system. So the point where the inlet of the water takes place in the water vascular system is this Madreporite. Are you able to understand? So this is the inlet source for the water into the water vascular system. Let's now see the structural details of this Madreporite. If you look at the structure of Madreporite, okay, 1 minute. So towards the left side, you have diagrammatic representation of Madreporite. On the right side top also you have the diagrammatic representation of Madreporite, where you find number of straight lines or grooves or wavy lines or grooves. So the original picture of Madreporite, which is enlarged, is seen towards the left side corner, left side extremity. Now, when you look at the Madreporite on the aboral surface view, it appears so, round with number of grooves in it. But when you take a section of it and observe, it shows the characteristic features related to the Madreporite structure, which we find in the middle picture down. So you can find the Madreporite has got number of openings. The furrows on the top, we can find only the lines or grooves. In between each of this line and groove, there is space. That space will lead to the structure referred as the pores. We shall understand how it is of. The pore leads into a very short fine tubular pore canal. You have a pore and this pore will down lead to a thin tube. So that tube, a short tube which is very thin, outside that has a pore of Madreporite and down a small canal is called as pore canal. Remember students, Madreporite has got number of furrows and grooves. each of this groove will have many number of pores of 200 to 250. Each of this pore will down lead into a small tubular canal. This small tubular canal is called as pore canal. When we look at the structure of this pore canal, here right at the right extremity of the diagram down, it shows minute openings. So it is a longitudinal section of the Madreporite. So outside you have minute pores. So each of that pore is surrounded with the ciliated epithelium. So like this, many number of pores are there throughout the grooves of the Madreporite. So this ciliated epithelium of the pore helps in filtering the seawater that enters down. So filtration of the water takes place here. So minute particles of sand that enters into Madreporite are prevented by this ciliated lining of the pores. Not only that, it will continue till the pore canal moves down. So each pore will continue with the pore canal down. So that pore canal is also lined with the ciliated epithelium. So wherever you find the ciliated epithelium, the function is to remove this waste particles or dirt particles that comes along with the water into the body system. So pore lined with the ciliated epithelium and pore canal lined with ciliated epithelium also removes the larger particles of dirt and sand. So pore canals are very minute openings so that it filters the sand particles to that enters within. Now, after these sand particles are removed, the water with minute particulate structures enters down. Now, many pore canals, so we have around 200 to 250 pores and pore canals. So each pore will have a pore canal down. Like this, all those 200 to 250 pore canals here and there they join to form a bigger canal, which we call it as down as collecting canals. So pore canals unites to form collecting canals. They are lesser than 100 in number. So approximately 2 to 3 pore canals joins together to form one collecting canal. So all these collecting canals of 100 number almost will down joins to form a bigger canal which is single in number called ampulla. So remember students, we have minute canals leading down from the pores called pore canals of 200 to 250. Many pore canals joins to form one bigger collecting canal. So we find lesser than 100 number of collecting canals down. Many collecting canals joins to form a one bigger canal, we call it as ampulla of Madreporite. So till this structure we have the parts related to Madreporite. So what is Madreporite? It is a circular or round or subcircular plate which is made up of calcium carbonate, and it's very hard part, thicker part. This part has got many number of grooves which are radially arranged. Each of this groove contains pores within. The pores are surrounded by the pore ciliated epithelial cells. Each of the pore down leads into minute canal called as pore canals. So we have 200 to 250 pore canals, or each of these pore canals of neighboring joints to form one collecting canal, and many collecting canal joins to form a single ampulla. So till here the parts are referred as the parts of Madreporite. Hope the concept is clear, students. So every place of pore canal, collecting canal, ampullae consists of lining of ciliated epithelium, indicating the cleansing activity of the cells for the entering water. So water that contains the debris, the waste, everything is thrown out with the help of this ciliated epithelium. So it generally filters the water and takes into the water vascular system. So after we understanding the structure of Madreporite, the second part that we should understand is the stone canal. Stone canal is also called as Madreporite canal because the Madreporite structure will continue down as the stone canal. Hence it is called Madreporic canal. It is made up of an S-shaped stone canal. Mean to say it is of S-shaped. So one end of the S shape will join with the Madreporite upward at arboreal surface. The other end of the S-shaped canal will join with the ring canal down within the body system. So the size of the stone canal, when we look at it, is to the extension length of oral to arboreal axis. So right from the mouth to Madreporite, what is the length of it? That could be the length of almost of the stone canal here. So it is S-shaped. Why are we calling it a stone canal? Because the wall layer of this tube, the tube towards its outside, consists of calcareous rings. The rings like that of the thoracic thorax of we the human beings. Okay, we have the C-shaped calcareous rings, right? Something like that you have the rings for outside the part of the stone canal. So it is made up of calcium carbonate, hence it is named as stone canal part. It has inside the wall which is very thick and shows the lining of ciliated or flagellated epithelium, which helps in cleaning the water again. So once, if you look at the diagram here, this right side diagram, the stone canal is getting it is shown as an enlarged part towards the extreme right. So it's a part that continues down with the ampulla of Madreporite. We know that Madreporite sieve plate has got number of furrows. Each of the furrow will have a pore. The pores will continue down with the pore canal. Pore canal will join to form collecting canal. Collecting canal joins to form a single large space of ampulla. Now, that region of ampulla now continues with the canal which we call it as the Madreporic canal or the stone canal. So stone canal has got outside the calcareous rings for protection. Now, the one end joins with Madreporite towards arboreal surface and towards the oral surface end of stone canal will join with the ring canal part. This stone canal contains within a special structure which we call it as axial body. The axial body, when you take a cross section, the transverse section, and observe under a microscope, it appears to be the diagram that is seen towards the right side. And left side diagram, when you look at it, is the longitudinal section. So the transverse section shows the lumen cavity of the stone canal. Within contains towards one side the stone canal axial unit. The axial unit. It contains number 1 axial gland, number 2 it contains the lamellae part of the stone canal system with a ridge. So axial gland along with the stone canal part having the lamellae and a ridge, all these three are suspended in the space of axial sinus. That is the space of the stone canal system. So when you look at the side view of it, it is like this. You have the part like this. You have the part of the axial system attaching towards one side. The other side, the area is free for the water to move down. So here when you look at the axial sinus is the space which is surrounded by the thin-walled tubular epithelial cells made up of ciliated or flagellated. The stone canal alone, when we look at, inside it has got a hard C-shaped or H-shaped unit called a stone canal lamellar part along with the ridge within. So the presence of the axial system within the stone canal will reduce the space or the cavity of axial sinus. You'll have to imagine otherwise. We have at the upper part ampulla, a bigger space that has to move down to reach the ring canal. In between, it has to cross into the cavity of stone canal. Correct? Now, the stone canal, when you look at the inside, it is not a continuous hollow space. Towards one side, there is an axial unit attaching, axial body attaching. So this axial body along with the stone canal having the lamellae. Lamella is nothing but the curved unit along with the ridge part. So it is an extension that will reduce the space or cavity of this stone canal. And each part of the axial system is provided with again the lining of ciliated or flagellated epithelium. So what is the special feature of all this? Here when we look at the ciliated cells within the stone canal is responsible for, of the ridge area where you find the lining of ciliated epithelium is responsible for generating the water pressure for the water vascular system. We call it as hydraulic pressure power. So water pressure is created by the obstruction of the axial gland within. So if it is a free space, the water will directly come down. In order to reduce the movement of the water and to bring in the hydraulic pressure, to create a pressure on the water, this system of axial unit and the axial gland is present here. So this is the importance of the stone canal unit. So remember students, hydraulic pressure is created by the stone canal part of the water vascular system. Hope the concept is clear. So we have Madreporite. Madreporite sieve plate has number of pores. The pores will continue with the pore canal. Many pore canals joins to form as a larger collecting canal. Many larger collecting canals will join to form the ampulla. Now that ampullar space down will join with the S-shaped stone canal. Stone canal will not have a free space. Instead, it is inside, provided with a special structure of axial gland and axial stone canal part. Together we call it as axial body. Now this axial body will have the lining of epithelium on its ridge. Now when the water flows within, there is an obstruction by the axial unit. Thereby it creates a water current pressure by the ciliated cells on it. So a hydraulic pressure is created within the structure of stone canal by the ciliated or flagellated cells within. Now, this hydraulic pressure filled water after complete filtration from the debris will now enter into the next part called as the ring canal. It is called ring canal because all the sides of, all the corners of this pentagonal structure is closed. So you find a ring-shaped structure of canal surrounding the part of mouth and esophagus. So that's the location. If this is the mouth, it is surrounded by a ring of ring canal. Are you able to understand? Now, this ring canal is pentagonal in shape. I mean to say, it has got 5 corners. This tube is hollow. A whole of the canal system of water vascular unit is said to be hollow, and it is provided with the muscular lining of ciliated epithelium. Every lining of the unit is hollow and has ciliated epithelium inside. Here also you find the same structure. It is made up of ciliated epithelium inside. This tube at its every corner shows extensions into the radius of the arms, rays or the arms. When we look at this ring canal, it is also called as water ring. It is located towards the inner side of peristomial, that is a part that guards the mouth, and it is pentagonal in shape, that is 5-sided structure. Each corner of this ring canal continues or extends as radial canals. So that's the importance of the structure of ring canal. Now, you know that stone canal end, the other end will join with the ring canal at inter-radius position. When we look at the inner surface of the ring canal, there are small, round or irregular, yellowish glandular sacs or bodies joining with the ring canal part. So you can find dark black colored dots like structures attaching to the inner side of the inner ring canal. They are called as Tiedeman bodies or racemose glands. Racemose because of its irregular shape. We call them as Tiedeman bodies by honoring the scientist who named them. So inner surface of this pentagonal ring is provided with small yellowish irregular or round glandular bodies called as racemose glands or Tiedeman bodies. What are they? What is the importance of these structures when we look at? They are attached to the ring canal at the inner margin area of inter-radius location. To say, between 2 angles of the pentagonal ring of ring canal, you find towards inner margin a number of these Tiedeman bodies, except for the region where the stone canal joins with the ring canal. At that side you find only 1. So altogether, how many Tiedeman bodies are attaching? It is only 9. So 9 units of Tiedeman bodies are attaching to the inner margins of the ring canal of organism here. The importance of this Tiedeman bodies when we look at, it is a glandular unit, round in shape or irregular in shape, made up of an outer cover of peritoneum. What we call the outer covering of this Tiedeman body, we call it as peritoneum. Next to peritoneum, we have towards inner side the stromal connective tissue. So we have connective tissue layer inside. Outside you have a layer of protection called peritoneum. Inside you have connective tissue part. We call it a stroma or stromal connective tissue. Inner to that we have many number of muscle fibers which are in the position of radiating tubules. Okay, they are tube-like, muscles are tube-like, and they are also radiating. It is like this. Arrangement is like this, radiating. These tubules of Tiedeman body are inside are responsible for filtering further the water. So partially filtration of water takes place, and these Tiedeman bodies are responsible for the manufacture of special kind of cells referred as amoebocytes or amoeboid corpuscles. So in the first slide of the introduction, we have understood that water vascular system consists of the canal system filled with seawater along with the special cells called amoebocytes. So amoebocytes are nothing but irregular shaped cells which involve in the process of phagocytosis. Students, remember here, the amoebocytes are produced by the Tiedeman bodies of the ring canal part. It is hence referred as lymphatic glands because it gives the immunity or immune boosting for the organism of a starfish or sea star. One important concept that we should remember here is that these amoebocytes help in killing of the foreign particles or living organisms that enters into the body of organism along with the water. If water contains the sand particles and dust particles, it is cleaned up, it will be filtered by the system of Madreporite and stone canal. But the water may contain microscopic structures like the bacteria or sometimes the pathogenic organisms which is harmful to the asterias. Such organisms are killed that enters after filtration into the ring canal will be killed by these amoebocytes. So that process we call it as phagocytosis. So down is the picture towards right side representing how the phagocytosis occurs with the help of the amoebocytes. So amoebocytes are involved in the process of phagocytosis which are secreted by are produced or manufactured by the Tiedeman bodies of 9 numbers that are attaching to the inner margin side of the ring canal. Now, this is in case of Asterias. Since we are studying Asterias as type study animal, this is how the arrangement of production of amoebocytes takes place for the process of phagocytosis. But there are other organisms other than Asteroidea class of organisms of echinoderms. In them, there is a special structure called Polian vesicles. These Polian vesicles are totally absent in Asterias. So they help in, they are nothing but extensions of the ring canal part as pear-shaped structures which are thin-walled, bladder-like. They help in intake of water and maintains the water pressure. So that's the major function of Polian vesicles. In addition to that, Polian vesicles also help in the production of phagocytic cells. Students, remember these Polian vesicles are since absent in Asterias. The Tiedeman bodies that secretes that manufactures the amoebocytes itself is enough for the animal to bring in the phagocytic functions of the water within the water vascular system. So Polian vesicles are absent in Asterias. So this is the diagram where Polian vesicles are shown. It is not of Asterias. Remember this. We have understood Polian vesicles not only help in the regulation of pressure of water, but also manufactures the amoeboid cells. Okay, so this is in case of other than Asterias. If Polian vesicles are there, they assist also in phagocytic function. But in case of Asterias, Polian vesicles are absent. Tiedeman bodies will secrete the required phagocytic cells, and that will take care of the phagocytosis process of the pathogens. After we understanding the structure of ring canal, the fifth part is the radial canal. We know that the pentagonal ring canal at its every corner shows extensions into the arms of the starfish, which we call it as radial canal, which enters into the arm till its tip portion, that is terminating portion. This radial canal is a hollow tube with the inner lining of muscles and ciliated epithelium. The radial canal allows the water to move from the ring canal to the radial canal system, then into the lateral canals. So it's a conducting canal that allows the water to move from the ring canal into the podial canals or the lateral canals. When we look at the radial canal shows lateral branches of two rows. So alternative branches of long and short narrow tubules. Each radial canal will show a bifurcation of short lateral canals, then alternatively the next canals will be longer. So when we keenly observe the diagram here towards the left side, the radial canal first shows a smaller sized branch, then next immediate branch will be large, then alternative branch will be small, then again it will be large. So small and large, small and long type of branches are shown by the radial canal. Each of this branch we call it as lateral canal or podial canal. So when you look at here the diagram towards the right side, the radial canal at its center, what it shows a branch towards the lateral sides, hence it is called lateral canal. Alternative short and long lateral canals are seen. Each of the end of lateral canal is provided with the last part of the water canal system is called as tube feet. So you can find bulb-like structures attaching to the end of each of this lateral canal part. So down when you look at the radial canal towards the right side diagram, the radial canal shows a branch of lateral canal. That lateral canal will join with the structure of tube feet. Now, the opening between a radial canal and a lateral canal, if this is a radial canal, if this is a lateral canal, the opening between them, the junctional structure here, shows within a valve. So this valve is responsible for movement of water from radial canal into the podial canal, then into the tube feet, and backflow of water is restricted there. So there is a checkpoint for the backflow of water. Backflow of water from the lateral canal or podial canal into radial canal will never take place. Reason is that there is a pair of valve in every junctional opening here of podial canal. So that's the importance of the podial canal. The next part we have is tube feet. Students, remember, these are the actual structures which are responsible for the locomotion process. So we find bag or sac-like structures attaching to the end portions of the lateral canals. So you have two short, two long, alternative short and long podial canals ends up with the attachment of sac-like structures referred as the tube feet. So when you observe a diagram towards the right side, you have the top radial canal towards the upper side. When we look at, you find shorter podial canal showing a pair of tube feet attaching to it, and longer podial canals also shows two tube feet attaching to it. So when we look at, tube feet are 4 rows in number. Towards one side of the radial canal, 2 rows are seen, one of long, the other one of short. The other side also similar arrangement. So totally 4 rows of tube feet are attaching to the radial canal in each of the arm. That is in the ambulacral group. The structure of each of the tube foot or podium, when we look at, it is a hollow, elastic, thin-walled, closed cylinder or sac-like structure. So you can find all these features related to the diagram down towards the right side. And towards the left side, you can find the tube feet that erects out from the body of Asterias within one arm. So those erected portions, when you enlarge, you can find a sac-like structure continuing down as a tube. It is completely closed, it's hollow, it is empty within, a space it encloses. It's elastic, it is made up of muscles which are retractile and contractile. So it is a sac-like structure, hollow in nature, elastic, thin-walled, made up of muscles of contraction and retraction. Now, when we look at the structure of each of the tube foot, each tube foot consists of 3 parts. The first part is the upper part, which is sac-like, balloon shaped, called as ampulla, that continues down as a narrow tube called as podium, and down it ends up with a flattened area called as sucker. So you have a bulbous ampulla, elongated podium, tubular podium, and down it ends up with the structure which is disc shaped called as sucker. Now, the function of ampulla is to conduct the water from lateral canal into the tube feet. It allows the water to come inside, because that is the part where the tube lateral touches. So there is filter water now comes into ampulla part of tube feet. Now, the water from ampulla needs to move down into the region of podium, where the podium is made up of elastic contractile tubules, connective tissue, So fibrous connective tissue it is, which is elastic. It is inelastic. So whenever ampulla squeezes, the water from the ampulla moves down into this tube of podium and reaches the region of sucker. The sucker allows the water to enter in and also makes the water to move out of it. So inlet of water takes place through the Madreporite, and outlet of the water from the water vascular system takes place through the sucker part of the tube fit. So water comes out through the sucker part of the tube fit. So during this phenomenon of bulging of water, bulging of the tube fit and contraction of the tube fit, there occurs the hydraulic power created, a pressure created, and the tube fit starts swinging or moving, and this suckers helps in the attachment to the substratum while the process of movement. So this is how the locomotion takes place within the organism of Asterias. Well students, with this we are completing the structural details related to water vascular system of Asterias. Then what is the function of water vascular system in Asterias? The major function is locomotion, because it creates a hydraulic pressure mechanism within the body, thereby the tube fit will help the animal to move on. Besides, the tube fit also helps in the process of respiration. So water vascular system also serves the function of respiration by the process of simple diffusion. The third important function is anchoring of the body of Asterias to the substratum. So for a firm attachment, the suckers of the tube fit helps them to attach to the substratum. So anchoring portion, attachment portion function is also brought about by the water vascular system, that is tube fit function. Next, it also helps in capturing and holding of the food during the feeding process. Okay, tube fit also assists in it and also helps in the process of excretion. So locomotion, respiration, anchoring process, then capturing of the food, excretion process, all this is served by the tube fit structure, which is related to the water vascular system, and thus they remain as the major functions related to water vascular system. So with this we are completing the concept of ambulacral system or water vascular system of Asterias. So after we understanding the concept, now we shall look into the MCQs related to it. The first question, in sea stars, that is starfishes, Madreporite is the opening for which of these systems here? It is water vascular system, so answer is B. Question 2, the locomotory organs in Asterias are, answer C, tube feet. Ring canal is found in which of the system? Definitely it is water vascular system of starfish, answer is C. A tube foot in starfish is made up of, we have ampulla, we have podium, we have sucker. So all the three parts, answer is D. Question 5. Ampulla contract and force the fluid into which of the parts here? It is the podial part, the narrow tube down. So answer is B. Number 2 is pointing to the starfish here. Number 2 is Madreporite here in the diagram. So it is B, Madreporite. Which structures at the tip of podia come in contact with the substrate? That is for anchoring. So which part helps in? It is the sucker of podium, tube fit. So answer is B. A part associated with the production of phagocytic amoebocytes in Asterias. In Asterias it is Tiedeman body, so answer is C. Well students, the outcome of today's session is we have learnt about the water vascular system or ambulacral system of Asterias, which is a very important concept, most repeated question in your main exam. So references includes web references of Wikipedia and Britannica.com, and book references includes Invertebrate Zoology by P.S. Verma and Modern Textbook of Zoology by Kotpal. Thank you all students. Your queries and comments can be posted to my personal WhatsApp number, or even you can call me up to discuss your doubts and clarify your queries. Thank you all. Take care of your good health during this pandemic time.